Hi there, this is Crunchy Berries, and this is a simple lesson. Are you ready for a simple lesson? Okay, requires a couple of minutes of reading of your time. That's it, just a couple of minutes, and then you can learn this lesson too. What I want you to read is Genesis chapter 47, verse 13 through 27. And you'll be glad you did, because you're going to learn a simple lesson here. I'm going to go over that lesson with you. Okay? Now, and check this out. Okay, so we see that the economic hard times fell upon Egypt, and that the people turned to the government of Pharaoh to deal with this for them. Does that kind of, sound familiar? Okay, and the Pharaoh nationalized the grain harvest and placed the grain in, great storehouses that he had built. So the people brought their money to Pharaoh, kind of like a great tax increase. Does that sound familiar? Okay, and they gave it all to him willingly for grain. They were hungry, so they gave him all their money for food. Okay, so and this went on until the money ran out. They brought their livestock, their cattle, their horses, their sheep, their donkeys, all this stuff. Okay, but it was still hard times. Their famine was still going on. So the next year, the people came to the Pharaoh and admitted they had nothing left except their land and their lives. Okay, they're requesting the Pharaoh to buy the people and the land for food, so that they can be servants to Pharaoh. So they surrendered their homes, their land, all the real estates to the Pharaoh's government. They sold themselves into slavery to him in return for grain. Okay, so what are we learning from this? Okay, the simple lesson is that turning to the government instead of to God to be our provider in hard times only leads to slavery. Did you catch that? Okay, yes, that is the only reason government wants to be our provider, is to also become our master. Okay, so now let's look how the passage ends, okay? Thus Israel settled in the land of Egypt, in the land of Goshen, and they gained possessions in it and were fruitful and multiplied greatly. See, God provided for his people, just as he always has. They didn't end up giving all their possessions to the government. No, it says that they gained possessions. Okay? But we see the same thing happening today. The government wants to share the wealth, once again, to take it from us and redistribute it back to us. It wants to take control of healthcare, just as it has taken control of education, and ration it back to us. And when the government rations it, then the government decides who gets it, and how much, and what kind. And if we go along with it and do it willingly, then we will wind up no differently than the people of Egypt did 4,000 years ago, as slaves to the government, and as slaves to our leaders. So that is today's simple lesson, which was found in Genesis chapter 47, verse 13 through 27.
Simple lessons, oh, simple lessons, oh.